do to all of my free game people out there, man. To all of my FMB people. Today, I want to go back and talk about the ego again. I know I made a video on this earlier, but it's another part of it that I want to go into. And I don't know if I touched on this fully. So, through my understanding of the ego, my new understanding of it, through, the things I've learned from others, and then I've kind of put into my mind and thought about what it may mean, I understand that the ego has two paths that it can go on, and it chooses one or two, or sometimes both, depending on how you are as a person or your beliefs or whatever. It's either the ego wants to have sympathy, where it want people to feel bad for it, feel like they just they want to be victimized. You know what I'm saying? They feel like they are the victim and everything is against them and the ego. Because also as well, that comes from a feeling of wanting to feel like you are the most important. So feel sympathy for me, feel bad for me because my feelings are important. You need to feel bad for me. That's one path that it can go on. The other path is superiority, where then it stands over. You know what I'm saying? And then it stands to be, to feel again like it's the most important. You aren't anything. I am the greatest. You know what I'm saying? The ego always puts itself at the center of the universe, putting itself as the most important thing, whether it be the most important thing where you need to feel sorry for it over anything, or the most important thing where it feels like it's better than you. So it's either attacking itself or it's attacking others, which in a sense is still kind of attacking yourself. The thing is that when you can't see your ego and you are your ego, you don't understand that this is what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Social media has made the ego bigger and it's taking up more space because of the fact that it's given. People have been given followers to make them feel important. That importance on your feelings have made you more hyper focused on those two possible paths, because you thinking people paying attention to me, I must be important. I must be the center of this, even if it's a small amount. And people who are their ego, no matter how much, you try to tell them things or inform them, they won't listen until your ego stands over theirs. You know what I'm saying? That's why most people don't listen to you unless you got some money. You feel me? They won't understand or even try to understand until you have some money, some type of fame, notoriety, because your ego stands over theirs. You know what I'm saying? And if you get what I'm saying, then you get what I'm saying. So that's why it's hard to teach anybody that when people that are their ego, it's hard to teach them, because if your ego isn't standing over theirs, whether it be financially, whether it be notoriety, or whether it be, what they perceive to be better than them in some way, shape, or form, they won't listen. Especially with the money thing, especially if you ain't got no money, you know what I'm saying? Even if they may perceive you as better than them ego-wise, if you don't stand over them in the most ego-forming way, which is, money and fame, which is like the most ego-indulgent thing, because that is the thing that the ego drives on, is the feeling of it's the center of the universe. You know what I'm saying? It's the most important thing. And money and fame give you those two feelings. See what I'm saying? So when you are holding one of those two things, you stand over somebody else's ego. So they'd be more willing to listen to you. See what I'm saying? So you got to understand, the goal is to not be your ego. What I learned when I introduce meditation into with this topic, is that you ain't necessarily even got to be no yogi, but meditate to a point to where you can see your ego and you can see which is your spirit and which is your ego. Let me put some Carmex on. All these videos, my lips have just been dry. I'm tired of it. Sorry, y'all. And then the camera be all close, lips dry as hell. But The goal is to not be your ego. If you meditate long enough, you'll be able to see it. And you'll be able to see when you're going, and you're going to know it's your ego. Because you're gonna see it, you're going to know it. You're going to be like, oh, okay, that's ego. I know what that is. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to be around here being your ego. Because that make you easily controlled as well. Because you believe you are the center. You know what I'm saying? And then, because you believe you are the center, and the things that you believe in, the things that you identify with is the center, it will then have you disrespecting others because you feel like you're the most important, or disregarding others, not considering others, because you feel like you are the most important. And that's not the way. You know what I'm saying? We are all connected. There is no separation, y'all. So when you living in your ego, you living in separation. And when you're living from separation from the collective, you're living from separation from God. And then you have that feeling of disconnected. That's what that is. You start feeling disconnected. You start feeling lost. You start feeling like you don't have any guidance. It's a feeling of just emptiness. And that's because you're not connected to source. And source is connected to everybody. And when you disconnected from that and you living within your ego, you know what I'm saying, you be missing that divine guidance because you're too busy listening to the things that, you know, make your ego feel better. So, free game people, I love y'all, man. Y'all take care of yourselves. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of here.